All right, everybody, I'm Robert Arrington. I want to show you what you need to clean an alligator. We're out here at Box Ranch. Killed this gator a few days ago with some clients on a private land tag. This is what you need. You need a good knife. I use Silver Stag knives. Brad Smith's a great guy. I met him at a trade show, bought a knife from him, and he keeps trying to get me to buy a new one, but this one goes everywhere with me, except my dog's almost chewed my sheath off. So you gotta have a good knife that's sharp. I always have a diamond steel. These are both diamond steels, but this one's a little more coarse, this one's a little more fine, because when you're cleaning an alligator, you need your knife to be razor sharp. You also need a razor blade. That razor blade is what you're gonna outline this gator's hide with. The premier hide on an alligator is underneath. So we're gonna mark him, cut the top of his scutes off. These hard part, this real rigid part on top is called a scute. That's called his mouth. That's called his belly hide. And inside is all the alligator meat. So let me show you how you get to the meat and preserve this hide. Okay, so right off the bat, gotta make a slit about that big. I'm gonna blow him up. Okay, and come back here, do the same thing right about there. Okay, we're gonna come around. So now we're gonna take our box cutter. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come around, we're gonna keep one row of scutes. We're gonna come around and mark this gator just like that. Now once you come down, you're gonna come down to the middle of the leg, right here. Follow this, right down the center of the top of the leg. Just like that. Good. Good, just like that. All right, so I've marked out the first full side all the way down. Now I've come back, I'm gonna do the exact same thing on this side. Okay. Okay, so now you're done with your box cutter. We've marked out the entire top of the alligator. We've cut down slits down the center of each leg. This hide is much more durable than you would ever imagine, which is why any leather goods you make with alligator hide is so durable. All right, so now it's real easy. All we're gonna start doing, very carefully, you're gonna grab this hide and start skinning. Okay, now all I do is I skin out just a little bit of this gator this way, and then I get all the top scutes off. Certain parts of the hide is extremely durable. Some of it's very delicate. You gotta be careful and know the difference. Now this is all tail meat, so we wanna be relatively as ginger as possible with it. We don't want to lose any of that. That's the good stuff. Okay, so now we have all the top scutes off. Reactor time. That took me about 15 minutes to mark it out and cut the top off. Keep your knife at about a 45-degree angle. Just want to be real gentle with this. Staying right on the hide. You're not putting hardly any pressure, just letting your knife do the work. Okay. We're going to come back here to our legs. Right here where you start your cuts is always a point of contention for me. If I'm going to nick one, that's typically where I nick it. Whenever I use that air to blow them up, all it did was help straighten the animal out and help slightly separate the skin and the hide from the meat. You don't have to do that, but works out pretty good if you can. And the gator's got to be dead and had been in the freezer or cooler for quite a while. This gator had been in a cooler for a couple of days. If, for example, if you do get a nick in your hide, it's not the end of the world. You'll just have a little hole in your hide. If you're having the gator mounted, the taxidermist can fix it. But if you're having it tanned, you'll just have a hole there, and that particular spot will not be able to be used. The hide that I'm working on, the part of the hide that I'm working on right now is a really good part of the hide that most leather goods are made from, and so I'm being real careful and real delicate in that area. Okay, well, look at this hog. How are you supposed to work like this? Alright, y'all. So now what I'm gonna do, I turned him over. Seems like a good time just to sharpen the knife. I'm gonna follow the inside ridge of his jaw right here. You don't need to cut it too deep. Just right there, right where the skin meets the jaw. And you can grab this. This is very delicate. This is all highly sought after leather goods right here. This is part of the hide that you don't want to mess up. It's all coming apart good there. Okay. This is kind of hard to see. I'm just cutting part of this jaw. There you go. I just came around, that's all big white jaw meat there. Okay, good. A lot of times when you're cleaning a gator, you'll have somebody here helping you at certain spots just so they can hold the hide. So now you just want to be real careful. Once you work around this thing, just making sure you don't want to nick any of the meat under, or any of the hide under here. Looking good, folks. It's looking good. Okay. She's getting undressed now. Got all of his underneath skinned out. Now we're just gonna work on his tail. You could take and split this fan, but he's had about 6 inches of his tail bit off, so I'm just gonna take this, make sure that I don't Gators have two different types of meat. They have the white meat, like the jaw and the tail, and then some of their breast meat. But in all reality, the jaw meat is probably some of the best meat on the whole alligator. Right there in those jowls. Okay, see them big old hunks of meat right there? We'll get that meat later when we flip them over, but for right now I will just cut it right here like this. Just cut it loose, do what I need to do on the bottom side. Cut it right there. Come right down around your esophagus, windpipe. Now we're going to come down here. So I like to come right in here, just like that. Right around his butt. And follow this just like you're cutting out a back strap. Right down the center of his back, or like you're filleting a fish. Alligators are known for having beautiful, beautiful tenderloins. Some people call them the jelly roll. But you're about to see them. That comes out just like that. You don't even really need a knife. Cut those. Hey! Alright. Come in here. Cut your tenderloin down nice and low. Just let it peel right out of there. That is the primo piece of meat on an alligator. Right on the other side. My dog and Sarah's pig are having a heyday together. That's Dixie Belle and Marlin. Currently, Dixie can't quite keep up with Marlin, but she sure as heck is trying. Dixie was a wild hog that we caught after her mom was taken out.
Just say after her mom passed away.
Yeah.
After her mom didn't make it.
After her mom had an untimely death, Dixie went to live.
Talk about this while I can get this.
This is shoulder meat. Again, this is dark meat, so we're going to throw it right over. Tucker, don't even think about it. Another big hunk of meat. Last thing up here, when it comes to good white meat, start all this neck. This neck will work right down into the jaw. All right. Earlier I cut out the bottom of the jaw. Now that's done. Marlon wants to be on TV. He said. He said he's tired of being an extra. He wants to be the front man.
Marlon! He knows what's good for him.
Alright, so now we're going to flesh out our hide real quick. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to take my knife and the big pieces of the big pieces of meat that I can get to, I'll just flesh them out like that. I want to be real careful not to cut into your hide. And remember, anytime you feel that delicate hide, be real careful. You don't want to, you've made it this far, you don't want to
cut it.
Get in a rush and nick it. Okay, so now we're going to flesh some of this out. This is down the tail portion and it's really hard to get close to the hide. This is a stainless steel pipe with a slightly sharpened inside edge. This little cracker trick here. Yeah. And as it gums up, you just simply spin the pipe in your hand. Alright, so that's that. We skinned him out, took off all the meat, fleshed him out. Now we're going to salt it, roll it up, and take it to the tannery.
We're gonna make some more salt.
Yeah, we need more salt here. I'm getting a little thin.
What I do, you fold the edges in. Roll these edges halfway in, the legs.
I need a little more salt in here.
The salt's setting up on it. What we'll do is we'll salt this tail down as I pull it to me with the table not quite long enough. Pull that leg in.
Yeah, see what happens is when he rolled that in, I put salt on top of it because this leg is gonna, that leg meat right there is gonna lay. just like that. You want there to be solid contact where the meat is touching, you know, a liberal amount of salt. That's probably the only time I could say the word liberal and not be talking derogatory.
Roll them up nice and tight. That'll work.
All right. Next time y'all see this gator hide, he might be around my hat as a hat band or whatever, but he will be
Right there.
There you go. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, be a part of the nation, folks. It's deer meat for dinner. We're out.